So I shall get my PowerPoint shared. Right, we're in business. We're in business. And I've got a little note on my slide now to remind me to record the lesson so I don't forget. So, hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a la lección 10 de la clase de Español Plus. Esta es la última lección antes de Navidad. Vamos a tener un descanso de una semana. La próxima lección es el 5 de enero. And hay noticias emocionantes. Exciting news, not emotional news, despite the fancy the Spanish choosing a word like emocionantes, which sounds like emotional. And you know how we all love a cognate, a close cognate. Emocionantes means exciting, not emotional, although it's a bit emotional as well. Tengo una nueva nieta. Llegó el miércoles pasado a las 3:52 y pesaba 3.7 kilogramos. Ella se llama Alice Marina. Unusual second name there, named after her other grandmother, Marina. So we're very, very pleased to see her arrive. We didn't want her born any later. She was hanging around too long as it was, being lazy. Y ahora Maggie ha perdido unos minutos. Creo que esto está relacionado con un plan que ella ha estado preparando.
Okay. Well, I just want to say that people wanted to show their appreciation again this year of all the hard work you've put into doing the Zoom and the notes and things that you sent out before that. So, being original, we bought you the same as you had before. Havana Club 7.
Ooh.
A little thank you for everything that you've done. Somebody said, what if he says not alcohol again? But I don't think you're likely to say that, are you, Eric?
No.
So thank you very much for everything that you've done for the class.
Thank you.
Gracias, Eric.
Gracias, Eric.
Wow, Papa Noel ha llegado temprano. Muy bien. Muchas gracias.
You're not going to be able to get it till next Christmas, mind.
You've absolutely no need to bother, but I'm very pleased you did. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll go easy on you all in class today. No hard questions. Let's crack on. Let's crack on. ¿Qué tenemos esta semana? Nuestro libro, Crimen en Barcelona. 101 Conversations in Simple Spanish. Y la tarea. We had a little bit of homework last week. Some of you managed to complete some sentences, so we'll take a look at some of those later on in the lesson.
Were they to be sent in? I didn't realize. I've just
Oh.
written them down.
Yeah, even I didn't realize we have to send it.
All right. Okay. Well, that's my fault for not telling you to send them in. I just thought you'd send them in if you'd written them. That was all. But we've got some. We've got some. If anybody's written them and wants me to take a look at them, then let me have them. There were a couple that arrived later, so I've not gone through those yet. But if you want me to take a look at them, I will do, by all means.
When's the last post date for you, Eric, please?
Last post. Whoops, what's happening to my thing? I don't know. There's I posted a letter on Friday at 4 o'clock in Thorney, second class, and it got to my sons in Soham on Saturday morning.
Yeah,
It's amazing, isn't it?
it is. Really good.
Yeah. So, crime in Barcelona. Let's have a look. What we are on. That's the wrong book. Let's get the right book. We're on 17, 18. See?
17.
Yeah.
Chapter
Okay.
17.
Let's do chapter 18, should we? We'll skip chapter 17. We've all read it. We've got a few questions about it, but let's read chapter 18. And if I go from the top of my gallery of downwards, first person is Jill. Jill Falls.
I hope my internet's all right.
Can I ask something before we start? Because I don't want to interrupt later. I was reading it to myself yesterday and then I sort of wasn't sure anymore. So I thought if a word ends in a vowel, it's the second last syllable that you accentuate, don't you?
Yeah, unless there's an accent.
Yes, but if it's a word like infancia, is it infancy?
Well, that ends in an A, so it's subject to the nose rule. So it's infancia. Infancia.
So the last, like thea is the last syllable. See, I would have split it infancia, so I've been pronouncing it wrong.
Infancia. No, I think C has the last syllable. Is it?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah?
You.
Should we take a vote on it? I think
I
infancia.
agree with you, boss.
I tell you what, Suzanne, if you're ever not sure about those, there's pretty good pronunciation guides in Google Translate and also Spanish Dict.
Okay.
So you can actually type in the word in Spanish and it'll come up with a little speaker.
Yeah.
And if you just want to check how you should be saying it,
Yeah,
you
it
can
would be
click on
good.
there,
So I looked
and
at
it
it
will
and I
give you
thought, I'm
the-
not sure anymore because it depends on how you split it. And if you're not sure how you split it, then you don't know how to pronounce it if there's no accent.
No, but they would also have the stress. They wouldn't just spell it out.
But I understand. I'm just
phonetically.
saying for myself, I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
I think the best way to learn the stress is to hear the words said by a native Spanish speaker. And if you said infancia instead of infancia, I think you'd still be understood, and you'd hear the word back, and you'd know it. So I mean, at this stage of our Spanish, it's always good to strive for perfection. But I think
Here is
if
the
we can,
pronunciation, Eric. Here is the pronunciation,
yeah,
Infancia.
infantia.
So you're
Infant.
thea is a whole syllable. Thank you.
yeah. There we go. That's it.
Infancia.
Thank you, Shanta.
Thank you.
That's Google speaking, not you, isn't it?
No, Google.
Google here. Yeah. Thank you, Google, and thank you, Shanta. Like I say, if we can make ourselves understood, I think that's a big achievement. So that's the first. That's the first aim. So if Jill kicks us off, you were coming over loud and clear, Jill. So if you read the first paragraph on page 18 for us, that'd be great. Thank you. Now, Jill, have you lost us?
Just frozen.
Jill has she frozen? Yeah, she has. Yeah. Okay.
Mediterranean.
Not to worry. Shanta, would you be able to read the first part for us? Where it
Okay.
starts, Aldo tiene.
Capítulo 18. Aldo tiene muy buenos recuerdos de su infancia. Todas las semanas iba con su padre a ver jugar al Barcelona. El estadio Camp Nou siempre estaba repleto de fanáticos. Después de ver el partido de fútbol, iban a comer a algún restaurante. A veces iban con amigos de Aldo. Felipe luego las llevaba a cada uno de regreso a su casa. En el camino siempre les contaba historias y anécdotas de su juventud. Los amigos de Aldo se morían de risa con las historias de Felipe. Eran tan extrañas que parecían inventadas.
Bien, gracias, Shanta, gracias. Jane, you're next on my little gallery. Jane Lilly.
Okay.
Would you be able to translate, please?
Yeah, sure.
I like the Christmas jumper, by the way. I'm glad
Thank you.
somebody's made an effort to be festive.
Aldo had many good memories of his childhood. Every week he would go with his father to the game at to see the game at Barcelona. The stadium Camp Nou was always full of fans. I can't remember what después is.
Después, after.
After they had seen the football match, they would go to eat at some restaurant. Sometimes they would go with friends of Aldo. Felipe then took them all back to his house. Is that back to his house or back to their house?
No, back to their house.
Oh, back to their house, right? Okay. On the way,
That's how I read it.
I didn't.
So I wasn't sure whether it was their houses or his house because it's like singular. So I was a bit confused with that.
Yeah, no, his house. You're quite right. Yeah.
On the way, he always told them stories and anecdotes of his youth. The friends of Aldo were always dying with laughter at Felipe's stories. They were so strange that they seemed made up.
Yeah, good, brilliant. Thank you very much. So, Susan, would you be able to complete the rest of that chapter for us, please?
I'll have a try. Can you hear me?
Yes, excellent. Okay, you're loud and clear.
Cuando iban a ver a Barcelona, Felipe aprovechaba la ocasión para tener charlas de padre e hijo. Desde que Aldo era pequeño, Felipe intentó darle a su hijo lecciones importantes. Hablaban sobre la importancia del trabajo y de la familia. Aldo aún recuerda las palabras
de su padre. Hijo, nunca olvides esto que te digo. Lo más importante es la honestidad. Habla con la verdad. Debes ganar la confianza de la gente y conservarla, especialmente de la gente que trabaja contigo y de tu familia. Así evitarás problemas y vivirás siempre en armonía con los demás. Ese es el mejor consejo que te puedo dar.
Muy bien, gracias, gracias. Susan? Susan, are you in tier 4 or out at...
No, I'm Northamptonshire, I'm okay.
Are you 2 or 3 then?
Well, I don't know which, but given up watching.
You're 3.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't make any difference to me.
Have you got a list there, Carl, of everybody?
No, I just remember them all from my wife, who tells me daily.
Yeah, we're all plugged into the news, aren't we? So, Carl, because you chirped up, then you've popped up the order. So you're next in the gallery. So would you be able to translate from Cuando iban a ver?
When they went to see Barcelona, Philip took the opportunity to speak, to have father and son talks with his son.
Yeah.
Since Aldo was small, Philip tried to give his son important lessons. They spoke on the importance of work and the family. Aldo still remembers the sentences as his father told him. Son, never forget what I tell you. The most important is honesty. Always speak the truth. Try and get the confidence of the people and keep it, especially the people that you work with and your family. Forget what evitas?
Así means like this or this way.
Yeah, evitas as well. Evitaris.
Avoid.
Avoid that. So try and avoid problems like this, and always stay harmonious with people, with others. It is the best advice that I can give you.
Yeah, brilliant. Gracias, Carl. So what do you want to do over Christmas? Do you want to do 2 chapters or 4 chapters?
2.
4?
Quattro.
4?
Something else.
Right. Let's have a little look at those, and I've got some questions which I've because I'm a nice guy and it's Christmas, I've sent round in advance so you can all have a look. So here were some words and useful phrases. I loved in chapter 17 Aldo's girlfriend. She was her job was diseñadora de moda con su propia marca de ropa, a fashion designer with her own brand of clothes. It seemed to me that was the go-to glamorous job when writers are looking to portray somebody in a sort of big 'em up. I thought it was a bit of a stereotype. I looked up stereotype in the dictionary, and it's almost a cognate. Estereotipo. Estereotipo is a Spanish stereotype. So that's Valeria for us. There were words. It seems to be that I'm coming across lots of words that I know the meaning of, but I know one meaning, and it turns out they've got. Sorry, I've got an itchy eye. They've got lots of other meanings as well. Yevar is one of those, and I had to look it up because it was used here as "se lleva muy bien." They got along very well, and I've always used llevar to carry, but also to wear. And there are lots of when you sort of look it up, there are lots and lots of other meanings. In fact, I can't think of a word with so many meanings. To spend time on, to be more than, to be older than, to handle, to deal with, to run, to cope with. As an intransitive verb, to take, and as an auxiliary verb, to complete or to have. And in the lesson notes, I'll send round lesson notes afterwards. I've put all of that list down with some examples sentences which I've stolen from SpanishDict.com, which give you some of the other uses of llevar. Clearly an overworked verb, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I always used to get it confused with Yegar, Yegar, and Yovar, to rain. So,
And also keys, I found. Lavar or something.
yeah. So it's one of those where I've got a bit of a mental block around it anyway. So I could really have done without it having umpteen other meanings. El principio, at first. If anybody's done Duolingo, they have jobs. One of the jobs they have is being a prince. El Principe is prince, I think. And it seemed Duolingo was banging on and on about blooming princes, and absolutely no relevance whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I saw this Al Principio, and the first thing I thought about was Duolingo, but Principio, not Principe. And here's another verb with extra meanings: comprobar, to check or to prove or to demonstrate. I've seen it used like that, but here they had it in the eios preterito as comprobaron, and it means they realized. I suppose after a while it was demonstrated, and it can also mean noticed. So that was a bit of a funny one. Puede haber sido, it could have been. That's one we might use in conversation, maybe. Puede haber sido. Salga con suya, to get away with. And eran tan extrañas, they were so strange. It might be worth remembering, era tan extrañas, it was so strange. That should be era tan extraña, of course, not plural, extraña. Era and eran are both imperfect forms of ser. So, era tan extraña. So I have some questions for us. Let's go through these. You can mute and unmute yourselves as you've chosen. And the pack's been shuffled. So Bryn is next on my list, just as he's taking a nice drink. Bryn, ¿cómo se llama la novia de Aldo?
Aldo novia se llama Valeria. Ella es una diseñadora de moda. Y creo es muy rica.
Creo es muy rica.
Rica. Creo.
Who knows? She might. She's probably got a sweatshop in
brand. She must be worth a few quid.
Yeah. I can't remember what you said at first. Did you say Aldo novia? La novia de Aldo, anyway. Se llama Valeria. Next on my list is Maggie. Maggie, ¿cuánto tiempo han sido pareja?
Han sido pareja por 3 años.
Por 3 años? Yeah. No, I said
Dos.
los dos están en pareja. The two, those two have been a couple desde hace 3 años.
They'd lived together for 2 years, but they were a couple for 3, I think.
Yeah.
3 years. Yeah. Okay, next down is Julie. Julie's got a Santa hat on. You didn't have that on when you came in, did you?
No, but you mentioned that, so I put it on.
Everybody's getting in the Christmas spirit. It's wonderful.
And why not? We need to.
Absolutely. We certainly need a bit of it, don't we?
We do.
So Julie, Aldo cree que su padre pudo haberse suicidado.
Aldo está seguro que su padre no se suicidado.
It's a hard word, that. What I need is a Spanish tongue for Christmas, I think.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh gosh, Carl's everywhere. Where are all these Christmas hats coming from?
The trend.
You can have your eye out with that bobble, Carl. And Jill's got a nice Italian. What are those things called? Those red. Yeah, we've got one. I can remember what they're called. It's gone. How are you hearing us, Jill? Can you hear us okay?
I've changed rooms now, so I'm now annoying my husband, but he's got headphones on.
It's a poinsettia, isn't it? That plant, that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
So Jill, ¿a dónde llevaba Felipe a Aldo a ver fútbol todas las semanas?
You've asked me. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, please.
Ellos iban a Barcelona a ver fútbol.
See, Camp Nou, or we call it the New Camp, but it's called Camp Nou, the home of Barcelona. Ken, how are you hearing us loud and clear?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Ken, para Felipe, ¿cuál es la característica más importante de una persona?
Para Felipe, la característica más importante fue la honestidad.
Honestidad. Sí. Creía que he believed that the characteristic más importante de una persona es la honestidad. Sí.
Okay.
Lorna, not Laura, Lorna. Después del partido de fútbol, ¿qué hicieron Felipe y su hijo?
Y van a comer a algún restaurante.
I said, ellos solían ir a un restaurante. They used to go to a restaurant. Yours perfectly. Perfect.
Eric, I missed the translations. What's Algoon restaurant or restaurante?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice that when I was reading, but I noticed it just now when we were going through it. I think it must be a mistake because I've never seen a restaurant spelled restaurant.
But is it they just went to some restaurant? Is that what they mean?
That yes, indeed, but they didn't have an E on the end of restaurante, did they? They just put it with a T. Yeah, Algoon, yeah, to some restaurant, yeah. An undefined restaurant is probably how we wouldn't say we'd say some restaurant. They went to some restaurant. So our conversation in Spanish, and we've got 101 conversations in simple Spanish. And we are on capítulo 11, el segundo robo. No, we're not. Are we? We did that last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doce.
Capítulo 11 es Alicia y Nuria en el café.
Sí.
I've been copying and pasting, so I've changed the chapter number, but not the name. So Nuria y Alicia entran en una tienda de café para hablar sobre los dibujos robados. So they've gone into now they've called this a tienda de café. A coffee shop, I suppose. I've heard the word cafeteria, but I've never seen in Spanish tienda de café. It sounds like a direct translation of English. Has anybody else come across that phrase before? Tienda de café. Quite interesting. I mean, it's a literal translation from England. Shop, yeah, coffee shop. To talk about the stolen drawings. So, voy a necesitar 3 actores para interpretar los roles de Nuria, Alicia y un nuevo personaje, el camarero. So El Camarero doesn't have a big part, so I don't think you'll need your equity card for this. Yeah, let me have a look who we've not had so far. Oh gosh, there's another Christmas hat. Sue's got a Christmas hat on now. Making me feel very underdressed. Yeah. I should have. I haven't got a Christmas jumper. I should have put one on my Christmas list. So Mangala, you've not gone yet. Mangala, would you be? Would you be Nuria?
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
And let's go down. Who's not gone? Sue. Sue, you've not had a part yet.
No.
Would you be Alicia? Is that okay? You're still on mute at the moment, Sue. And we'll have to have Giselle can't. Giselle's busy putting a Christmas hat on. You got them as a pair, didn't you? You've got. I think Carl's bobble's a bit bigger than yours, so you got the better one, I think.
We've all
Giselle,
changed. I've got a different one now, Eric.
Oh, very smart. Very smart.
Giselle, you'll have to be camarera, not camarero.
This is my usual one. That I'm the helper, not the worker. I'm the worker, not the doer.
Okay, so are we all ready? We've all got our thespian voices on. Yeah, let's go.
Buen día. ¿Qué les servo?
Buen día. ¿Qué quiero? Un café con leche?
Yo quiero unos churros con chocolate, por favor.
Perfecto. Enseguida traigo todo.
Bien. ¿Qué piensas del caso?
Hay dos robos. Ayer alguien robó los dibujos de la casa de Lorenzo Reyes. Hoy o anoche alguien los robó de la tienda de Rodolfo García.
¿Piensas que es la misma persona?
Puede ser la persona que robó los dibujos de la casa de Lorenzo Reyes no sabía cuánto valen. Son muy valiosos, pero vendió los dibujos por poco dinero. Pero luego, al oír sobre el robo en TV, descubrió el precio real y volvió a robar los dibujos.
También puede haber un segundo ladrón.
Claro, alguien que tal vez nos oyó en la tienda.
Alguien como ese, I can't read that word because it's not coming up on my screen.
Misterioso hombre.
Yeah, hombre del sombrero.
Muy bien, muy bien. Okay, so the plot creeps forward. Buen día, ¿qué les sirvo? We all know about ordering their food. Don't forget we have to sound every word in Spanish. So chocolate, not chocolate, chocolate. What else? So Noria says the waiter's going to bring their food straight away. Noria says, well, what do you think of the case? And Alicia says, there are two robberies. Yesterday, someone stole the drawings from the house of Lorenzo Reyes. Today or last night, someone stole them from the shop of Rodolfo Garcia. She should have been in the police, Alicia, shouldn't she? Nori says, do you think it's the same person? Could be, puede ser, could be. The person who stole the drawings from Lorenzo Reyes's house didn't know their value. They're very valuable, but they sold the drawings for only a little money. But later, when they heard about the robbery on TV, describing the real price, the proper price, they returned to rob them, to steal them. Nuria says, it could be a second thief. Alicia says, it's true. Could be they heard us in the shop. Somebody heard us in the shop. Somebody like the mysterious man in the hat. Whenever there's whenever something evil's happening, it's always somebody in a hat, isn't it? I don't think there's a great deal to talk about this week. This text is it's a little bit below our level, I think. So I'd like to think we're understanding it pretty well. If not every word, then I think we're getting the gist of it without any problem. Buen dia seems to is used in this book. It was used at the beginning. Buen dia, good day. Now the first. It hits me because the first word I think the first phrase I learnt in Spanish was Buenos dias, so it sort of sticks with me. And I remember John telling me that it's Buenos dias, so it's good days, not good, even though it means good day or good morning, whatever. It means it's Buenos dias, it's plural. Now I've seen Buen dia, and it's been used several times in this book. And when I've been in the Canary Islands, some people there have said Buen dia. Now I can't remember whether it's a Canary Island accent, which is quite similar to a Southern Spanish one, or whether it was the hotel staff in the Canaries come from all over the Spanish-speaking world. They've been Cubans, Moroccans. Even there was a waiter from Blackburn in the last hotel I stayed at in Tenerife, and she got perfect Spanish with a slight northern accent. So I'm not sure whether it's a regional thing or whether it's gradually creeping into Spanish. I keep saying Buenos dias, because that's what I was taught. But obviously, if somebody says buen dia to me, I know exactly what they mean. And if it seems to be the way they say it in that region, then I'll just adapt to it. I was thrown by the phrase "Que les sirvo?" What can I get you? The waiter said, using the verb servir, to serve. That's not one I'd heard before, but one I'll have to put in the memory bank. No sabía cuánto valen. He didn't know what it was worth. Valer, to be worth. So useful phrases there. Cuánto vale? What's it worth? No vale la pena. It's not worth it. No vale la pena comer. It's not worth eating. It's not worth it. I don't know whether any of you like to have a haggle in a Spanish market, but no vale la pena is probably a useful phrase. You might get you a few quid off, or it might get you into a big argument. You never know.
Muy caro is the best one.
Es muy caro. Yeah, that's Ken's. My sister had an interesting one in Peru, didn't you, Maggie?
Oh yeah, I got my.
You told them you were drunk.
I got my borracho and
Oh, yeah.
my, what's the other word that's like it? Borracho is drunk, isn't it? Borracho
Yeah.
and
Barato.
Barato, that's right. I got a bit muddled up. Nobody seemed to mind.
So muy borracho.
You said you were too drunk. You were too drunk to buy it. No, that's what they. We've all got our stories of embarrassing statements in Spanish. I asked Lucy's stepmother whether her biscuits laid many eggs. Galletas and gallos mixed up. So I was, and when I corrected myself, I asked if her cockerels laid many eggs. So it's a double whammy.
I once got quattro and quarto mixed up and got 4 large pizzas delivered to my table instead of a quarter of a pizza.
This was what? This was bottles of wine, was it?
No, pizza.
Oh, pizza, sorry. Oh, well, yeah. So what else did they say? They said puede haber, for there could be. I thought that should have been podría haber. I thought they should have used the conditional, but it may be just a colloquialism. That's how they say it. Puede haber. Okay, so we had some homework last week. The challenge was to use some of the words. There were some words in last week's chapters of Climen and Barcelona, and the challenge was to use some of the words and put them into sentences. Thanks for your efforts, and like I say, if anybody's got some extra ones, I'll have a crack at them over the Christmas holiday. I'll send them back to you. Although, if I've had a couple of shots of Havana Club, Siete Años, I'll probably just put very good and send them back to you. I'll spell muy bueno. Muy buenas wrong as well. So, cuando vi, this is one of the first ones. Cuando vi esta deberes, hice enseguida lo. Oops. So, cuando vi esta deberes, hice enseguida lo. So when I saw this homework, I did it immediately. So there's a few problems with this. Deberes is one of those Spanish words that's always plural. Deber, of course, is a duty, and deberes for homework or work it means duties, but you never see deber because it's the same as the verb, isn't it? So deberes is masculine. So it should really be estos deberes los hice enseguida, I think. But I think it's just a lot easier to, instead of saying deberes for homework, to say tarea for homework. Then you can say, cuando vi esta tarea, la hice enseguida. I think you'd put the pronoun before the verb in this case. You wouldn't say hice enseguida la. You'd say la hice enseguida. it's a lot easier to say apart from anything else. Next one, no te hagas el tonto, no te conviene. Don't play the fool. It doesn't become you. Nothing wrong with that at all. Perfectly good. Perfectly good. Well done. Era Nochebuena y los niños estaban muy emocionados de que Papa Noel les dejara regalos. So it was Christmas Eve, and the children were very excited that Father Christmas would leave them presents. Again, perfectly good. Well done there. No te hagas el tonto. Dime donde el dinero. Don't be a fool. Tell me where the money is. I think it should be that says dime donde el dinero. Dime donde está el dinero. Where's the money? Not where the money. They say, show me the money these days, don't they? No te hagas el tonto. Dime donde está el dinero. There was also a couple of exclamation marks at the end. Very bad Spanish. You need to take one of them, turn it upside down, and stick it on the front.
Mine doesn't go upside down.
It was also clear that one of our class had something of an alcohol theme going. I don't know whether this contributed to the Spanish grammar. Estaba haciendo esta tarea, pero cuando vi mi esposa había venido con vino, entonces pensé, ya está bien para, which I think meant that I was doing this homework, but when I saw my wife was coming with wine, then I thought it's time to stop. It's good to see. It would be good to stop. There were just a couple of bits of few mistakes here. Obviously, the 2 glasses of wine that he'd had before he'd sent his wife out for another one. Capital H for haciendo, doesn't really matter. Me possessive, my wife, mi esposa, rather me esposa. We need an accent on había. And pense, not piense, in the past tense, and estaba bien needs to be in the imperfect. Do you remember if we've got a couple of things happening in the past? One is in the imperfect and one is in the preterite. So we've got that instance there. Los Reyes Magos seguido el Estrella. Coincidencia, Estrella es mi favorito cerveza. I'm rather fond of that. Estrella Damm, there's several of them, aren't there, in Spain? Different players. Estrella Damm, I seem to remember through a haze. Did anybody was anybody looking out for the star last night?
It was too cloudy.
Jupiter and Saturn. It was a big letdown. It was completely overcast at us, so waste of time looking. I did have a look a couple of days earlier, and they were getting quite close together, but they're so low on the horizon that when I'm looking southwest, I sort of get all the glow of Peterborough. So it's not exactly as spectacular as it might otherwise be. Anyway, Los Reyes Magos seguido el estrella. The three kings followed the star. Coincidentally, estrella, which means star, of course, is my favorite beer. Well, because there's more than one king, there's three of them. Siguieron, not seguido.
Yeah.
And it's one of those verbs that needs an a after it. So siguieron a el
Then you could say
estrella.
Alistrella. Alistrella.
Yes, it should be, yeah. Al estrella. Muy bien. Estrella is masculine. So, yeah, that should be apocopated. Thank you, Susan. Por coincidencia, estrella is mi cerveza favorita rather than favorito. It's cerveza is certainly a feminine noun, so we need to have the adjective agreeing with the gender of the noun, and it's better to put it afterwards in this case, I think. So that's all for today. Have we finished slightly early? Oh, 3 minutes early. So there is some homework. I'll put a little note on the end of the lesson notes. There's a listening exercise. This week it's a trip around your car. Now, it's always useful if we're driving in Spain, if we're driving our own car, to know what a tire is or an engine. So if anything goes wrong, we can try and tell the mechanic. So Maria from Why Not Spanish is showing us all the bits on the car, and it's quite useful practical Spanish, I think. If there's any bit of the car that you've had trouble with, I remember an agua bomba giving some trouble once, water pump, agua bomba. So if there's any bits of a car that you think might give you trouble, send me a note and we'll find out what that is. So take a look at the video. If you do a couple of chapters of Crimen en Barcelona, we're getting through the book, and John, who's not with us today, couldn't be with us today. John's kindly sent a link to Spanish version of a popular Bob Dylan track, Los Tiempos Van Cambiando. The times, they are a-changing. I played it, and the intro goes on for so long that I thought it was just an instrumental version, but the guy does start singing a minute into it. So stick with it, or maybe fast forward if you like to. So all that remains is tell you, esta es nuestra última lección hasta año nuevo. So it's our last lesson until New Year. Espero que todos tengan una buena Navidad en el nivel 4.
Sí.
No se le permite ir a Whittlesey para tomar una copa con una comida abundante. So have a great Christmas in Tier 4. I'm not allowed to go to Whittlesey for a drink with a substantial meal anymore. I'm barred from Whittlesea. I never thought that would happen. It's only a couple of miles down the road. They won't let me go to Whittlesea. They've not got roadblocks up yet, so maybe I can sneak in. But
You're barred from Crowland as well, Aaron.
we're yeah, poor Thornyites. We're barred from everywhere. We are, yeah. And we can't go further east than Thorny Toll, further south than Whittlesea, further north than Crowland. So I don't know. I'll have to start shopping at Waitrose. It's going to cost me a lot more than the co-op. I don't know. Anyway, cuidate. Nos vemos a todos el 5 de enero. Have a great Christmas, everybody. Thank you again for the rum.
Yeah.
It's very, very kind of you. And I'll see you all in the new year.
Yep. Happy Christmas again. Bye.
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 Merry Christmas, everybody.
Cheers.
Bye. Feliz Navidad.
Gracias.
Feliz Navidad, Eric, and
Feliz
everybody.
Navidad.